Invaders 10. Chip Zdarsky is still just. This comic is fantastic. So if you haven't gotten it, you really need to, because we're going to discuss it right now. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. Now, we're going to be reviewing Invaders number 10. Chip Zdarsky still killing it with this. This is fantastic. The old Invaders squad. If you haven't been getting this, is one of my 300 most underrated books that you should definitely be reading. And he keeps it going. And the ending. So there will be spoilers in this. So probably want to click off now. Or if you've read it, good, then we can discuss it, because that's what I like to do, is discuss it. So we start out back in 1943. The war is basically over. Bucky's gone home, Toro's gone home, the Human Torch has gone home, and Captain America's still there. Like, hey, I don't have anywhere to go home to. I don't know if anybody's the same there. I'm not the same as I was when I lived in New York, in the Bronx, and etc. And Namor's like, hey, you can't be sitting around here. The war's over. There's nothing. You don't need to be here. You need to go somewhere. You need to go to a home. So if your home's unavailable, just come to my home. So he takes them down to Atlantis. We get this nice cityscape panel where he takes them down into Atlantis, and so all the people there, and of course he's having to wear the snorkel gear and whatnot, and he's down below, and it looks a very beautiful panel. And then we flip into today's time. Now, if you remember from the last issue, Bucky and Captain America took the Genis virus to change themselves into Atlantean. And they've gone down to Atlantis to basically what they're trying to do is still the virus itself. They're trying to be able to get it to be able to heal everybody that Namor changed. And we also found out that Namor's advisor, or in his head, had an advisor that was put there by Professor X, who was an old war buddy trying to help him cope with the PTSD type things, but it ended up being something that became all his rage and now is fueling him to do things he shouldn't be doing. And then left his mind through the Serpent Crown into Roman, and then took the Serpent Crown and went off to do his own thing. So now we got the Genis virus out there. We've got Namor missing part of his mind, kind of went crazy. He's like broke now. Yeah. And then so Captain America and Bucky have gone down into Atlantis as Atlanteans, while humans turned Atlanteans, to try to get this Genis virus. And so they go down, and they you see the beautiful landscapes through here. You got all the fish, the sharks, the colors. It's the art really here is really good, and I like how they're changing the art from old 1943, 1944s to today's present. The art changes between the two, and I like that. It's really well done. So they're going down there. Bucky had to leave his arm, so he's one-armed, which is I found very interesting, because your arm doesn't change. It's bionic, so I take it off to try to hide who he was. And they know the virus is over here, and Captain America's like, I got to go do something over in this direction. And he's like, wait, the mission is to get the Genis virus. And that's when Captain America looks back and says, no, the mission is to save everybody. And that, I think, is like very Captain America. He's going to try to do everything in his power to save everyone, no matter who it is. And I like that. I like how that's written. Yeah, the mission is to save everyone. I like that. It's very cool. So they get over there, and there's a guy in a cage. He's got his hair's grown long. He's got this beard. It's Hydro Man. And apparently they've put a cage around him that changes his powers in some way, so he can't turn into water. And he's stuck down here in Atlantis. Now, I don't know why. Either it happened earlier and I missed it, or something. I'm not sure why Morris here is actually in captivity down in Atlantis, but he is. So Captain America is getting ready to release him, and at the same time, there's a huge explosion within Atlantis. And they're like, it sounds, Captain America calls it. It's a distraction. Somebody's after the virus. So, but Namor's like right into the attack, right into the middle of the guys, and he starts fighting with his guards, and they're laser beams shooting everywhere. And he's throwing people around. They're all in the scuba gear and stuff like that, and they're shooting at him, and things are just bouncing off him, that was a really cool picture. And then Captain America and Bucky actually go for where the virus is because they figured it is definitely a distraction of some sort for some reason. So they go there and they find out it's actually Roxxon. And so Roxxon has sent a troop from below to come up underneath the barrier around Atlantis and around the guards, and they go for the virus itself. And so Bucky, of course, Bucky has one arm. He's trying to fight one-armed. Captain America's fighting, and Roxxon actually gets the virus and takes off with it. And Namor is back over here fighting this distractionary force, and he finally realizes it was a distraction, and we missed it. We missed whatever their plan was. We missed it. So he's like, let's go hunting. Let's go and figure out what the problem is, what we're trying to do. And so he goes ahead and you see the serpent crown, and he's telling, Roman's wearing the serpent crown. He's like, I need you to go do this. I need you to go do that. And he's sending everybody off. And then Namor takes off to go figure out what happened to the virus. So Roman actually comes out, and he sees that there's Toro and the Human Torch are actually flying overhead. And he says, hey, call me Roman Mainton. That's the guy's name. So Roman, they realize that's the guy, Human Torch realizes that's the guy that they knew back in World War II. And apparently he, now they realizing this dude is coming out of somewhere. Why is it Roman that I know from World War II? Where we know it's because that he was in Namor's head and then went into Roman and actually took it with the serpent crown and now has abilities to do things like control water, shoot fire, things of the sort. So he actually does this, and he actually takes control of Toro's mind. And with Toro's mind, he's actually shooting flames at the Human Torch. The Human Torch is like, hey, what are you doing? I can't be hurt by fire. He's like, okay, that's fine. And he sends Toro, which is, of course, the young guy, straight up into space. He told him, fly as high as you can, as you possibly can, until your flame goes out. And so now Human Torch has a choice. He can either go after Toro and save this young kid, or he can fight Roman here. But then he decides to go ahead and I'm going to take off and take care of the boy, which is a good decision. So he rushes off to go into fly up in the sky to try to catch Toro. Then we flip back to Captain America. Now Captain America climbs up on the Roxxon boat, the Roxxon oil well, and he's trying, and of course he can't breathe out of water now because he is Atlantean. So he's got to put on the scuba gear. He's, the water gear, whatever, scuba water gear, I guess, I don't know what you call it when you're trying to breathe water instead of air. But it's kind of a rebreather of some sort. Puts this thing on his face so he can breathe outside of the water. He battles his way in. There's some great shots of him using a shield to smash through windows. People are shooting at him. He's, hitting people, knocking things around. He gets the virus. At the same time, Namor shows up. And Namor shows up on the boat. And he goes, Captain. And see, Namor did not expect Captain America to be there because Namor just knew it was a distraction with the Roxxon guys. And Captain America was fighting over with where the virus was. So now the Cap is actually there. And he's kind of, well, what is going on, Captain? So he comes up and he sees Captain has the bag where the virus was held and knocks his rebreather off. At the same time, we see, they're interspersing panels here where we see the Human Torch actually catch Toro, which is great because he actually flamed out, was coming down and falling. And then we go back and forth to the ship, and the Roxxon guys are shooting at Captain America. Of course, he can't breathe because Namor knocked the rebreather off. And then somebody hits the bag, and the Genis virus, well, I think it's actually the Genis cure for being Atlantean. I think that's what it actually is. But either way, it creates this green mist, right? And so this green mist encapsulates both Captain America and Namor. And you can see in the panels here that Namor is kind of, or Captain America, it's, the bullets are flying, but you can actually see his face where the blue is starting to change back into his normal skin color. And so he's in this, and Namor's in this. And so Namor gets blasted, and he falls off the ship, right? And so Captain America jumps off, and it's like great panel here. He's putting the shield back on. He's like diving in the water, and he's swimming out to grab him. And then we get the Roxxon guy, right? And he's like, hopefully there'll be enough to ship to the facility twice. They're best equipped to deal with them nearby. If we pull this off, the next words I want to hear at the annual meeting is, welcome Simon Cato, the new president of Roxxon. As for Rogers and Namor, send out the smaller ships to search for the body. So they don't care. He's all about the money. He doesn't care about the people. He wanted that virus to be able to cure people, or to hold the cure, or sell the cure. I don't know exactly what he's trying to do here, but it's definitely not good. And then, we have the main ship is selling off. There's a storm, and we don't see where Captain America and Namor are. But Captain America can no longer breathe water. We can see that specifically. And then we have Namor. And then we see this black panel. Namor starts to wake up. He sits up. He goes, hey, Captain America looks at, hey, that compound that changes people from Atlantean back to human, we both got it. I'm back to being human. And I have a feeling so are you. So now Namor is no longer Atlantean. Now, he's still human, and I'm assuming still mutant. But he's no longer Atlantean. It cured him from being Atlantean. And it shows him on a desert island. And I mean that is a great. Namor is no longer an Atlantean. Of course, I'm assuming he can take the genius powers and turn himself back. But that is crazy. That's cool. Will it turn him blue? Because it's never been the blue color before. Again, that'd be cool. Man, Chip Zdarsky is killing it on the series. It's fantastic. It's good writing, good story. It's 10 issues, and we're like basically on the same story arc, with the mind break of Namor and Namor's plan to try to change the world. And now we got Roman, who was in his brain, that's come out and he's doing things. It's fantastic. All the old characters: Spitfire, Human Torch, Toro, Captain America, Bucky, Namor, all these old invaders from World War II. Great story. So if you're not on this, you definitely need to get this. At least get the trade for the first. We're at 10 issues already. At least get one of the trades for the first 10 issues. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time here in the Long Box.